this massive MCU news. There are new reports on how Marvel's going to continue the story of Vision, of Wanda, and of their two children, Billy and Tommy. And this is super fun because not only are all of these characters beloved by most MCU fans, but some of the events that these characters have in the comic books end up being some of the most iconic and cool moments ever. So we're going to first talk about the different reports about a Vision show called Vision Quest. Then we'll talk about the Agatha Harkness Coven of Chaos show and how that will deal with Billy. And then we'll pull all of this together, talk about Wanda the Scarlet Witch, chaos magic, and her son becoming the Demiurge.
Who?
And spoiler alert, the Demiurge is one of the most powerful characters in all of Marvel Comics, and I'm pretty sure that's where all of this is headed. But first, let's talk about White Vision and the coming Marvel project that is currently titled Vision Quest. Oh, and we will be discussing how this is likely the show that Wanda will pop up in next, proving that she didn't die at the end of Multiverse of Madness. Okay, so let's first talk about Vision Quest. Now, this was a scoop that Jeff Snyder had, talking about how they were assembling a writer's room for a Vision-centric show called Vision Quest. And then later in the week, it was confirmed by Deadline. Yet again, another example of the Hollywood trades taking something that Jeff Snyder scoops and presenting it as though they are the first people out there to confirm it. But regardless of all of that, we know a little bit of what this show will entail. Deadline confirms this will be a show that focuses on Vision following the end of WandaVision, where of course we see the synthesoid white version of Vision have his actual memories unlocked by the sort of hologram version of Vision that Wanda created. He is the true Vision and flies away. And I think it's important to remember that this Vision was reassembled and reprogrammed by Sword with the task to kill the Scarlet Witch. In the Deadline article, they say that the show will focus on the synthesoid trying to regain his memory and humanity. Paul Bettany will reprise his role, and while her return is yet to be made official, Elizabeth Olsen is expected to appear as Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch. And so this is really interesting for a couple of different reasons. Number one, Vision is one of the most powerful characters in all of Marvel Comics. I mean, essentially, even without an Infinity Stone, he is on the level of something like Ultron. On top of that, Paul Bettany is a beloved character in the MCU, and I think many MCU fans love him as Vision. It's so a tale of Vision going out there and trying to find himself, going on like what you would call a Vision quest to figure out who he is really compelling and interesting. But it's the fact that he's going to be doing this in an MCU that is dealing with so many crazy things, including Wanda going absolutely crazy in Multiverse of Madness, the incursions happening with a collapsing multiverse, the Skrull themselves trying to invade Earth and perhaps even co-opt Stark Tech technology, and Kang the frickin' Conqueror trying to take over the multiverse and trying to take over Earth 616. Now, something else that's really interesting from the comics that may be adapted into Vision Quest and just in general in the MCU is the love triangle between Scarlet Witch, Vision, and Wonder Man. And we know that there's going to be a Wonder Man show developed for the MCU, and as it currently stands, the actor that portrays Black Manta in the Aquaman movie, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, is rumored to be playing Wonder Man for the MCU. And it's very likely that that's going to happen before you get to this Vision Quest show, and so part of the Vision Quest show might be Vision finding himself, realizing that he does want to be with Wanda and he still loves her, then going to seek Wanda out, and she's with Wonder Man. And there's a lot of cool history and fun things that happen there in the comics that they could explore in the MCU. But there's something else really interesting about Vision and Wanda, and that is that they had children together, or at least they did in the Hex during WandaVision, which takes us into the next part of this video. But now let's talk about the Agatha Harkness show, Coven of Chaos, and how this may circle around the character of Billy Kaplan. Now, Coven of Chaos, the Agatha Harkness show, has been on the slate for some time, and I believe it's currently filming or maybe even wrapped. But one of the most interesting rumors about this show is that it may well center around the character of Billy Kaplan, who is a reincarnated version of the Billy Maximoff or whatever Billy was in the Hex with Wanda and Vision. And this has comic book roots, right? So after the House of M, when Wanda realizes that her children weren't actually real, and then all of that ends and it disappears, there are two children, Billy and Tommy Kaplan, that are born to regular people in New York City, but they seem to be reincarnated versions of Billy and Tommy from House of M. And the rumor is something similar to that is going to happen in the MCU. And this Billy Kaplan character, aka Wiccan, who has magical powers just like his mother, is actually also a cosmic messiah referred to as the Demiurge. We've also heard that there could be an organization in the Coven of Chaos that's something like the TVA or SHIELD, but for magic users. And in the comic books, it wasn't until Billy Kaplan started to show an incredible amount of power that was very similar to his mother. Yeah, it wasn't until then that people really started looking for the Scarlet Witch in earnest. And this leads to the Children's Crusade part of the comics. And it's been rumored for some time that Marvel was interested in developing parts of the Children's Crusade, and recently Grace Randolph said that she has heard that the Agatha Harkness show will adapt part of the Children's Crusade. And now let's pull all of this together, talk about what we know as far as the Marvel multiverse, the connection between magic and technology. Now this is going to give us the Demiurge, who again is literally one of the most powerful things in comics. So we've heard for some time that they're developing the Young Avengers. There's a lot of rumors about this. You can just look at what they're doing. They're giving a lot of the Avengers kids, and they're kind of growing this younger crop of Avengers. The Young Avengers are absolutely on the way in some way, shape, or form. We've also known that Wanda's children have obviously been being teased as kind of a big freaking deal. And again, if Billy really is the Demiurge, and that really is going to be set up in Agatha, then that's clearly something that's going to have to be paid off later, because it's a very, very big deal. I also find it really interesting that a lot of younger characters in the MCU are being developed as more than just characters, but something like a cosmic entity. I mean, if you look at America Chavez, Wanda literally refers to her as a supernatural being. The character of Love that's now hanging out with Thor is something of a cosmic entity as well, created by eternity. And if you add in the Demiurge to that, that's another cosmic entity in the shape of a young Marvel character. And I don't know what all of that exactly means, but the Demiurge itself is really interesting and actually has a connection to America Chavez in the comics. Because in the retcon version of America Chavez, which resembles something of what we see in the Multiverse of Madness movie, her mothers were raising her and then jettisoned her away as the Demiurge destroyed them. They were on the run from the Demiurge. America Chavez's mothers sacrificed themselves to save the entire multiverse from the Demiurge. And in the Young Avengers, young Loki explains to Billy that he is a cosmic messiah who will one day make a decision on how to alter how magic will work, and that's going to ripple across all dimensions in all time. And we know we're headed towards Secret Wars, where something crazy is going to happen to the multiverse, and it's likely that it's going to be being destroyed by some force, the incursions, and there's likely to be this big fight on Battleworld to save the multiverse, maybe to defeat Kang, maybe to defeat Doctor Doom, or maybe the Beyonders to save everything. And I can't help but think that when you look at what Wanda was doing in the Multiverse of Madness, the crazy prophecy from Chthon in the Darkhold, the incursions happening, America Chavez being a part of that, Wanda desperately wanting to find her children, one of her children being the Demiurge that then might change how magic works and reshape the past and the future of the multiverse. Well, I frankly think you've got some awesome stuff going on that could be a part of what happens in Secret Wars. This could be something that happens even after Secret Wars and shows very powerful Marvel characters like America Chavez and the Demiurge being the next group of Avengers that has to fight against something really crazy, like a Thanos with the power of the heart of the universe, or perhaps a variant of Reed Richards that is working with the first firmament, who is essentially this entity that's the first universe that was ever created, which was the main villain for Eternity Wars, which has been leaked as a trademark that Marvel also grabbed up, and a lot of people, including myself, believe that will be the next big event and saga after Secret Wars. You basically just got some dope, multi-dimensional, super-powered Marvel characters that could be affecting things on a multiversal scale. It's wild AF, and I think this is a big deal for the MCU. And on the surface level, there's a lot of fun stuff to just enjoy with Wanda and with Vision and with Billy Kaplan, but I also can't help but think about how this is all setting up massive multiversal implications for the MCU moving forward. And I know, it got a little sweaty and nerdy there at the end, but if you're anything like me, you appreciate such kind of speculation. Let me know what you think about Vision Quest, about Agatha Harkness, and about Billy being the Demiurge. Smash a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Make sure you're coming on by our streaming channel where you can ask me about things in this video live. And make sure to subscribe to this channel and the live streaming channel because we give away a dope nerdy thing each month to a lucky subscriber. This month we're giving away sets of this old school Iron Man Marvel Legends figure and this Herald of Galactus Thor Marvel Legends figure. These figures are super hard to find. We'll give away 2 sets on the main channel and 1 set for somebody subscribed to the live streaming channel. If you want to watch more, why not check out this video here where I break down the latest rumors and updates about Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four in the MCU.